All right, so you've sent us this excerpt from AI and the Constitution, Bridging Divides for a Unified America.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly you're thinking about how this whole AI wave is going to kind of crash into the bedrock of the U.S., the Constitution itself.
Yeah, and you're right to be thinking about it. What I find so interesting about this book is that it doesn't shy away from the big questions,
Right.
the potentially scary questions, like, will AI strengthen those core American values, embedded in the Constitution, or will it just shake the whole system to its core?
Yeah, no sugarcoating here.
Yeah.
So today we're on a mission to kind of understand how this book sees AI impacting those really big ideas. Freedom, justice, equality,
Right.
all that good stuff that the Constitution is supposed to protect.
Right.
But first we got to talk about this AI boom, because it's impossible to ignore.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
It is. It's everywhere. And this book actually argues that this isn't just another tech trend. Like, say, those virtual pet rocks we all had back in the day.
Let's not go there.
Right. Well, the book lays out these 3 key factors that make this AI surge different. They call it a perfect storm.
Okay.
First up, computing power. The stuff that once took up entire rooms now fits in our pockets. We carry more processing power than ever before, which makes AI more accessible and much more potent.
Okay, so more power. That makes sense.
Yeah.
What else is brewing in this perfect storm?
Data. We are swimming in it. Every click, every purchase, every GPS coordinate, it's all being gobbled up and analyzed. That's AI's fuel, allowing it to learn and evolve at an insane pace.
So every time I binge watch those cat videos, I'm basically training some AI out there.
In a way, yes. But there's a third ingredient to this perfect storm: algorithmic breakthroughs. Think of algorithms like recipes that tell AI what to do.
Right.
Machine learning, now that's where it gets really interesting. It's like giving the AI a bunch of ingredients and letting it figure out the recipe itself.
Okay.
It's AI teaching itself.
Ooh, that's both cool and kind of creepy at the same time.
It is.
So we've got this AI perfect storm: power, data, and these self-learning algorithms. The book says these 3 things together mean integrating AI into how the government works isn't a choice, it's a necessity. Why is that?
Because our government, with its executive, legislative, and judicial branches,
Right.
was designed way before AI even existed. Think about it. Those checks and balances. They weren't built for a world where algorithms could potentially outthink and outmaneuver us.
So are you saying those powdered wig-wearing founding fathers didn't quite account for self-learning algorithms writing legislation?
Not exactly. But the
Okay.
book's point is that those principles, like checks and balances, representation, the rule of law, those are timeless.
Right.
They're the foundation. And the only way to uphold them in a world that is increasingly shaped by AI is to integrate AI into the system itself.
Okay, so not just using AI to automate filing systems,
Right.
but more like rewiring the whole government with AI at its core.
Exactly. This is about adapting those core branches of government, making them function effectively and, most importantly, ethically in this new AI-driven world. And that's where it gets really interesting. It's funny. This book doesn't just jump into the Silicon Valley solutions, for an AI-powered future. It takes us all the way back to ancient Greece
Okay.
to understand the roots of democracy itself.
Okay, so time-traveling robots aside, why the history lesson? What do those Athenian philosophers know about algorithms and the Constitution?
Well, it's about understanding the core principles,
Yeah.
the DNA of democracy. I mean, those early Athenians, they grappled with how to give citizens a voice,
Right.
how to debate laws, how to balance power. These same questions are even more urgent today with AI in the mix.
So it's not just about making government run faster with AI.
Right.
It's about whether AI fundamentally changes what government even means.
Exactly. Think about citizen participation. Like, what does it even mean to have a representative government if AI is calling the shots? Or how about this? Remember those heated debates about who gets to vote? Well, what happens when AI is used to determine who's eligible or worse?
Yeah.
Starts making voting decisions for us.
Okay, now that's a bit unsettling. So are we heading for some kind of AI-powered Roman Senate deciding our fate with algorithms?
That's the million-dollar question. And this book argues that the answers are found not just in code, but in our values, in understanding how those early democracies succeeded and where they ultimately failed.
Okay, I'm seeing how this history lesson is relevant.
Yeah.
So how does the Constitution fit into all of this? I mean, it's a pretty old document.
It is, but the book makes a great point about how the Constitution isn't some, static artifact.
Right.
It's a living document that's been amended and interpreted over time to address new challenges.
Right, like those later amendments, like the 19th to the 24th that you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. Those amendments granting women the right to vote and abolishing poll taxes, they weren't just about those specific rights.
Right.
They were about expanding access to democracy, ensuring that more voices were heard.
Okay, so inclusivity, equal access, those are themes that resonate even more strongly in today's world, right? Especially with all the concerns about AI and bias.
Absolutely. The book argues that AI could either perpetuate existing inequalities or help dismantle them.
Okay.
Think about access to healthcare. I mean, you've probably already seen headlines about AI diagnosing diseases, which is amazing.
Right.
But what if those AI-powered tools were only available to the wealthy?
We'd end up with a two-tiered healthcare system further dividing us.
Yeah.
Good.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just access to technology. What about AI being used in education? Personalized learning plans, AI tutors. These could be game changers, but only if everyone has a fair shot at using them.
Right.
Otherwise, we risk widening the achievement gap even further.
And this book argues that AI could even exacerbate the political divisions that are already tearing us apart, right?
Yeah. The book does not shy away from that.
Okay.
It acknowledges the deep polarization in America today and suggests that AI, if we're not careful, could actually make it worse.
Okay.
Imagine AI-powered echo chambers feeding us only the information that confirms our existing biases, making it even harder to have productive conversations across the political divide.
So instead of bridging the divide, AI could become another weapon in the political wars.
It's a real concern. But here's the flip side. AI could also be used to help us understand and address these divisions. Imagine an AI sifting through millions of social media posts, news articles, even city council meeting minutes.
Right.
To understand how people really feel about a proposed law.
Okay.
It could give lawmakers a much clearer picture of what their constituents actually want, not just what they shout about on cable news.
It's like AI could be this double-edged sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
Either amplifying our worst impulses or helping us to overcome them. So where does that leave us? Is there a way to ensure that AI strengthens our democracy rather than tearing it down?
Well, that's the challenge, isn't it? And this book argues that it starts with recognizing that AI isn't some distant, futuristic thing.
Right.
It's already here,
Yeah.
shaping our lives in countless ways.
You're right. From those personalized recommendations that are always popping up on my phone
Right.
to that AI-powered chatbot I had to wrangle with the other day.
Exactly.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
But this book goes even further by suggesting that AI could revolutionize how governments work.
Absolutely.
Right.
But we're not just talking about using AI to make things more efficient,
Right.
although that's certainly a part of it. This book envisions AI fundamentally changing how governments respond to crises, make policy decisions,
Really?
and even uphold the law itself.
Okay, so paint us a picture.
Huh.
What does an AI-powered future look like for everyday citizens?
Okay, so imagine this. A hurricane is bearing down on the coast. Now, instead of relying on outdated models, AI is crunching real-time data from weather satellites,
Okay.
social media feeds, even traffic patterns, to predict exactly where the storm will hit and how bad it will be.
Right.
Emergency responders use this information to target evacuations, preposition supplies, and get help to those who need it most.
So AI becomes this crucial tool for disaster response, making a real difference in those really critical moments. That's huge.
Exactly. But it's not just about reacting to crises.
Okay,
The
right.
book talks about AI being used to analyze massive data sets, economic indicators, public health trends,
Right.
you name it, to help policymakers craft more effective, data-driven solutions to long-term challenges.
So no more gut feelings or backroom deals. It's all about what the data tells us.
It's about bringing the best of human judgment together with the power of AI.
Okay.
Imagine being able to analyze the real-world impact of policies, see what's working, what's not, and make adjustments based on evidence, not just ideology.
Okay, that makes sense. But this is where I start to get a little wary. What about the human factor in all of this? Are we just handing over the reins to algorithms and hoping for the best?
Well, that's the crucial question. And the book emphasizes that the future of AI and the Constitution isn't some predetermined outcome.
Right.
It's something we shape collectively through our choices and our actions.
So it's not just about engineers coding algorithms in Silicon Valley.
Right.
What can everyday citizens do to ensure AI upholds the values enshrined in the Constitution?
Well, the book concludes with a powerful call to action for citizens.
Right.
It urges us to educate ourselves about AI,
Okay.
its potential and its limitations.
Mm-hmm.
It encourages us to ask tough questions about how AI is being used in our communities and by our governments. And most importantly, that reminds us that we have a voice, a right, and a responsibility to demand that AI be developed and deployed in a way that strengthens, not erodes, our democratic values.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, it seems like the key message here is that the future of AI and the Constitution isn't something that just happens to us.
Yeah.
It's something we're actively writing right now with each choice we make, each conversation we have.
That's exactly right. It's about recognizing that AI, like any powerful tool, can be used for good or for ill.
Right.
It's about demanding transparency, accountability, and a commitment to using this technology in a way that benefits all Americans.
And it starts with conversations like this one. So to you listening, take a moment to think about how AI is already present in your life. Then ask yourself, what kind of future do you want to see? What role will you play in shaping an AI-powered world that upholds the ideals of the Constitution?